segment of the news. This is the only space all over the world you can find people giving you guys accurate information regarding Afrobeat and the guys that makes the beat. My name is Taki. You can spell it as DARKI, and then you know it's double E. Welcome again to this special segment of Gusto Life News. I want to say a big thank you to our fans out there for doing what you guys do. We love you guys so much. Thank you for everything. We can't thank you enough. You guys are really amazing. Thank you, and thank you. I kind of feel like at this point, a lot of you all already knows how I say these things, right? But really, this is not about the lines or something. It's the fact that we mean it when we say it. We're grateful. We thank you for the love, for the support, for the energy. We are really, really grateful. Thank you. We can't stop saying thank you. However, you want to employ you guys to please put on your notification button so you'll be the first person to know whenever we drop a video, post, or a content. Secondly, if you have anybody that's an Afrobeat lover who love Afrobeat, who support Afrobeat, who belong to a fan base or something, please share our page to this person. This person will thank you very much later. From me to you, you can bank on that he's going to come back and say thank you for bringing this page my way. And finally, you can now stream us live on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. um, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, brother. Please come through. We are waiting for you in this space. The news, like I said, is buzzing. We have OdumoduBlvck on the news. We have Burna Boy making the news today. We have Ayra Star making the news, and then Ashake also stylishly made the news with his amazing exploit. Let's begin straight up with Burna Boy. We saw Burna Boy after the Bahama show, the Bahama Festival, where when they're performing to large amount of numbers. Burna Boy is set to be at the Wintrust Arena in Chicago, US, on the 21st of February. And this is an awareness post that few tickets are left. So if you want to be there, this might just be a good time to get your ticket already. Moving on, we saw Spanish rapper known as Mala Rodriguez on Instagram was saying vibing to Burna Boy song, and she was dancing effortlessly to it. Now that is something that Afrobeat is doing, is making everybody love it. Now Afrobeat comes with a force where you don't have a choice; you must just love it. The force is massive, the energy is crazy. People love the vibe, love the jam, and they can't resist themselves when the flow comes on. We saw Virgil van Dijk, the Liverpool captain, came out to give his top five playlist, and surprisingly, three Nigerians made the cut: Omale, Rema, and Ashake. Omale with Holy Ghost, Rema with Charm, and Ashake with Lonely at the top. Afrobeat would make you leave your seat to dance. And moving on, we saw Burna Boy sitting on top of the world. I've surpassed 40 million streams on Spotify. That's a massive number. This song at a point, the person felt like, yeah, it was not giving, it was not this, it was not that. But today, it has just done 40 million streams on Spotify. The countdown to 100 million is on. And then for Burna Boy, like I always tell you, his numbers come upon us like a thief in the night. You're sleeping, you're awake, and then you're seeing this same song doing 200 million a month from now. Here's Burna Boy. The effect is massive, and the fan love is crazy. Moving on, we saw Burna Boy Love Damini album. I've surpassed 5 billion stream on all streaming platforms. This is a massive one. I'm not gonna lie. Having an album do 5 billion stream on all streaming platforms, platforms like Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube Music, Deezer, just name it. This album has just done 5 billion stream across all platforms. I mean, major platforms. That's a very crazy one for Burna. But I want to say congrats. We saw this album doing 1 billion on Spotify. That was last year, and it was expected because the speed at which the album was going, you all knew that 1 billion was obviously very close to it, and so I've done numbers about 5 billion. We want to say big congrats. It doesn't come this easy. And then when it comes, we really do appreciate whoever is pulling the strings. Moving on, we saw J. Osh and Play, which features Burna Boy, have just surpassed 80 million streams on Spotify, while Burna Boy, I Told Them album have just equaled Davido's Timeless to be 360 million streams on Spotify. Moving on, we saw Dajo and Burna Boy, Don Bolakon have just surpassed 40 million streams on Spotify. And you can now tell that Burna Boy numbers on Spotify are insanely crazy because all of these songs are doing minimum of about 40, 30 million. So you can tell that Burna Boy billions, billions, billions on Spotify. Moving on, we saw Usher and Burna Boy coming home made a debut at number 13 on the New Zealand Hot Singles chart. It is the highest debut song of the album on the charts. Now we saw Usher coming through with his album sometime last week, which he featured Burna Boy on one, featured Fuse on one. By the way, Fuse produced both of the song and a couple of other songs, so many songs on the album. But surprisingly, coming on with Burna Boy is actually being the most performing song on all charts. Similarly with Sensational, Chris Brown, Davido, and Loj, that particular one is the most performing song of the 11:11 album from Chris Brown. And with what you've heard, you don't need a soothsayer to tell you that Afrobeat is the deal. Moving on, we saw Dua Lipa, obviously once again dancing to Burna Boy. Yeah. Now this is a testament that he has done an amazing job because everybody all over the world are now vibing. Busta Rhymes is vibing, DJ Khaled is vibing, Dua Lipa is vibing, Rodriguez is vibing. Everybody is vibing to what Burna Boy is doing or has done. I want to say big congrats to him. He is the Odogo, but at the same time, a bit of attitude problem here and there. But then it's Burna Boy. When it comes to his craft, which is music, he does not come second. Moving on, we saw Usher and Burna Boy coming home, made a debut at number 30 on the Dutch Netherlands singles chart, an amazing one. And once again, congrats to Burna Boy for that one. Talking about Spotify, these are the top 4 biggest artists on Spotify. So far, we have Burna Boy ranked at number 331. WIZKID come next at number 643. Thames comes third at number 848, and Davido comes fourth at number 955. Moving away from Burna Boy, we go straight to OdumoduBlvck, the Pratt mix. We saw Industry Machine OdumoduBlvck reminded us that Rema is the GOAT. And this is what he said. Rema performed at the Ballon d'Or. Ballon d'Or, read again. Now, to understand what this means, it means that it's a setting where every footballer who is a footballer, everybody who is something in the footballing world are gathered in a space. And then a certain Rema and the Edo boy came from nowhere to perform to the likes of Lionel Messi, Mbappe, Erling Haaland, Vinicius Junior, just name it, Kamavinga, Bellingham, Hazard. This we saw Rema coming out to perform with all of these guys. As a matter of fact, he even had to shake hands with a good number of them. Moving on, also OdumoduBlvck coming out to respond to a tweet where the person said, Odumodu has the longest ever charting number 1 album by a Nigerian rapper. Let that sink in. Ezioku. And in the response, Odumodu said, I will not let them pretend they cannot see it. I won't. Industry match. So basically, and no wonder if you check his Twitter page, he's always posting, liking, posting, any post that has to do with his charts and numbers. Indeed, he is a very deliberate person. Moving on, we saw him quoting another tweet from One Jobless People regarding how Two-Face Idibia responded to a tricky question, and we saw where Two-Face, with his years of expertise and his maturity, handled that situation properly, such that nobody was offended, neither the person he was asked about or himself, and nobody presumed him to have said anything illegal. But we all understand why Odumodu had to go that route, obviously because of the Idris Abdul Karim situation. And then he said, according to him, he said simple and short. So basically, not all questions demand your answer. If you can do it as simple as okay and yes, that makes a big number of sense. And moving on, we saw OdumoduBlvck coming to throw his support behind Joe Boy. In his words, he said, rooting for Joe Boy all day. I am front row in that, using the MF word. He said, if Joe Boy run for president, I would do a presidential campaign song for the first and last time in my life. This is OdumoduBlvck coming out to show support for his friends, talking about Joe Boy. We all know Joe Boy left the Empower Music team to start his own label, which could be a bit challenging. But then Odumodu has shared, with all of this happening with you, I am solidly behind you. And I kind of feel like these are the kind of love he would need at this point in his career. Moving on, we saw OdumoduBlvck coming out to thank everyone for supporting his music. In his words, he said, Thank you all for supporting my music. That is every artist's dream. Una too much. Industry machine, an amazing one, and indeed, he has gotten massive love from Nigerians. And we saw OdumoduBlvck come out to show support for Charlie Poppy over his Charlie Poppy Life in Abuja that happened on the 17th of February. Trust me, people came out for the show. Charlie Poppy indeed had a brilliant show, one of the best shows in Abuja so far. And then we saw where him and his friend OdumoduBlvck came out to perform the song Cast. And it was evident that they loved the song. Everybody could sing along word for word, and the energy from the crowd was really contagious. Moving on, we saw OdumoduBlvck reminiscing on what his early days looked like, and then in his words, these were what he had to say. He said, "In my early days, I had no money to pay for billboards, so what do I do? Myself, Aguna, and Gustavo, we bought spray cans to write Black Sheep for Life, Black Sheep Forever on so many junctions in Abuja. Ask Abuja people. This was inspired by Jean Michel Basquiat." And that was a very brilliant one, actually. Now, that's to that artist out there who doesn't have the finances. Odumodu have told you what to do. You don't have to wait for the biggest of money, but then with that small thing you have, you can be so creative about it and do something that will put you out there in people's faces. Moving on, we saw Tiwa Savage, she and her fan page group on Instagram. We saw where they had the conversation. And in the conversation, we saw where it began. Hey, soldiers, we have a new feature coming up with OdumoduBlvck. Let's grow our community. So basically, we saw a song where Odumodu and Tiwa Savage were caught up in the studio, and a lot of people believed that song was going to be on Odumodu's EP. But the reverse is the case, because as at now, we can confirm to you that that song is obviously going to projects. Moving on with this are the top 10 most streamed Nigerian song released this year on Spotify. This is still February, but so far these are the most streamed song on Spotify released this year. Ayra started the park with Comma, where she has done about 6.3 million stream. Only Me Ashake number 2 with 4.7 million stream. Twitter Remix number 3 with 4.6 million stream. Bust Down is Nathan Ashake number 4 with 2.3 million streams. Sonyade and WIZKID as number 5 with 2.3 million stream. Everything number 6 with 1.5 million stream, and that's by Victoni. Mysterious Love CK number 7 with 745,000 stream. Celine Dion Ajebo Osla with OdumoduBlvck with 576,000 stream. We have One Love with WIZKID with 557,000 stream, and then we have Belong to You with Fave sitting as number 10 with 526,000 stream on Spotify. And moving on, we saw while Ashake was obviously holding it down in Dubai, making sure everybody out there enjoyed themselves. Fireball was also not left out, as he was in Florida yesterday, also breezing out the audiences he was singing to. They love his vibe, love his energy, and then both artists from YBN were on or evidently busy. Ashake was in Dubai doing his thing. Fireball was in the US, obviously making sure everybody who were there loved the vibe he was bringing. Once again, big congrats to the YBNL team. Finally, on the news, we saw Ayra Star Commerce remains at number 1 on the UK Afrobeat chart for a second consecutive week. Massive one to Ayra Star, massive one. Once a big congrats to her for that major achievement. Having a song, or a song remains at number 1 on the UK Afrobeat song chart. It's not getting fit, it comes from hard work, consistency, and massive talent. I want to say big congrats to Ayra Star, and we cannot wait to see what the next couple of weeks will look like for her on the chart and then other charts on the Billboard. My name is Daki. We'll catch you guys on the very next one.